Hello everyone and welcome to the weekly show where I share a few of the most interesting pieces of news in gaming. Today's topics are Pokemon Go's success, No Man's Sky's continuing legal troubles, a curious new RPG by Square Enix, and a big update to Overwatch. This is Byte. To start things off, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Pokemon Go. The game is obviously a widespread hit, transcending into what can only be described as a cultural phenomenon. You've heard all the stories, both good and bad. I don't have to tell you how it's taken the world by storm, despite all of the problems with the app. Now, I can't criticize them too hard as it's their first release, and I'm sure Niantic, the game's developers, are working hard on updates to fix these issues over time. But constant freezes and server issues hasn't stopped Pokemon Go from becoming one of the most popular apps of all time. Now, of course, with the very casual nature of the app, many hardcore Pokemon fans are doubting Pokemon Go's stay power. While catching Pokemon is super fun, the battle system leaves lots to be desired. Many believe the battle system to be the weakest part of the app, as many players find it dull and repetitive and even borderline broken. It looks like some major balance changes will be necessary for the app if they hope to continue to please fans in the long run. It's hard nowadays for any game or app to stay relevant for more than a couple months, but if any brand can do it, it's Pokemon. Now, while the Pokemon Company is celebrating a smooth rollout, Hello Games developers of No Man's Sky can't seem to catch a break. It was just a few weeks ago when we heard the good news that the developers of the long-awaited procedurally generated open-world space exploration game had finally resolved the trademark battle over the game's title. A few years ago, British entertainment company Sky Broadcasting filed the dispute with Hello Games over the use of the word Sky in the game's title. Just last month, they finally won that court case and it seemed like Hello Games was good to go. With them recently announcing the game reaching Gold Master, everything seemed to be in order for the August 9th release. That was until earlier this week, when reports came in that Dutch company Genicap is claiming ownership over the quote super formula that powers the technology behind creating the game's procedurally generated planets and creatures. Sean Murray, the game's managing director, mentioned in an interview that he stumbled upon the formula in question when it was published in 2003 and the idea was born. What he may not have realized, however, is that the formula was then patented by Genicap for use in software to quote generate 2D and 3D shapes. It's hard to say whether or not they even have any ground to stand on, as they don't seem to have any real proof that Hello Games is even using their formula as described in the patent. They released a statement saying that, quote, "We haven't provided a license to Hello Games. We don't want to stop the launch, but if the formula is used, we'll need to have a talk." Another curious detail is that Genicap waited until less than a month from the release to take action on their claims when the game's been in development and in our Amazon wishlists for years. Will this newfound trouble delay the release of the game yet again? I surely hope not. At this point, I hope they are investigating actually going ahead and licensing the formula, as engaging in patent disputes could take several years. Don't these companies realize they're crushing our dreams? All we want to do is to explore an infinite cosmos. Is that so much to ask for? And now for something that no one really asked for. Square Enix is currently developing a new RPG. No, I'm not talking about FF16, or a true current-gen sequel to Chrono Cross. Get on that, Square, I know you've had the trademark for Chrono Break for like 10 years now. But no, it's none of those, but a new title called Cosmos Rings. And it's for your Apple Watch. Unfortunately, not much is known about the game other than it will use the watch's pedometer in some way. So at the very least, you can expect the game to be affected by your steps. The website shows the game's logo and a single screenshot. It's also unclear if the entire experience will be on the watch or if it's simply an extension of a game on your iPhone. It all remains to be seen. And in typical Square fashion, there's no release date. So you can pretty much expect it to be out in 2025 for your Apple Watch 5. Mark your calendars. And finally, moving on to the final story of the week, which is that Overwatch's patch was released on consoles. Earlier this week, PC players were introduced to the newest member of the Hero Shooters roster, Ana. Ana is a new sniper with some serious support abilities, like shooting to heal your allies from afar, putting your enemies to sleep, and supercharging anyone on your team. Those of us slumming it down on the console versions, however, had to gaze from afar, only imagining how glorious Ana is. That was until last night when the update was finally released on PS4 and Xbox One. The new character comes alongside a big patch, which also brings some pretty serious balancing changes to the game. My favorite part is probably all the refinements to the character Diva. She's definitely my favorite character in the game. Anyways, the patch notes are pretty hefty, so I'll leave a link in the description so you can check that out. So those were the pieces of news that stood out to me this week. Are you getting over Pokemon Go? Are you as frustrated as I am over No Man's Sky's issues? Does the Square Watch RPG want to make you run out to your closest Apple store and buy a new Apple Watch? Please don't answer that seriously. And what do you think of Overwatch's new character Ana? Leave all your thoughts in the comments below. Also, I hope you enjoyed this premiere episode of Byte. I'd love to hear your feedback on the show as a whole. I want this show to be as great as it can be, and I'm sure with your help we can shape it into something amazing. So drop a like if you like what you see, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you all next week.